Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat. I'm talking about a blistering hot Sunday afternoon here in southern Oklahoma. It's absolutely amazing. This is a heat wave of all heat waves, something that hasn't happened hardly ever in the state of Oklahoma. You know, Oklahoma is famous for the famous Dust Bowl. This is when a lot of Oklahoma dried up so much that so many Oklahomans moved out to California and set up roots out there. And a lot of them stayed. A lot of those people that moved out, and a lot of them from Kansas, from Texas, all around, but particularly a lot from Oklahoma, and they simply stayed out there in California because the ground just absolutely, totally dried up. And Oklahoma became like a big bowl of dust. They call it the Dust Bowl. And we are looking at temperatures and the amount of days without rain in certain areas of the state. Some areas of the state are really blessed with a lot of rain. But we are looking at a situation similar to that Dust Bowl. And we're certainly looking forward here in southern Oklahoma. We're looking at that. I mean, here we are, what is today? 17th of the month. July 17, and I think it's been over 100 degrees every single day in July here at our ranch, and quite a few days in June we're over 100. And the critical thing is we haven't had any rain. We had a little bit of rain the first 2 or 3 days of June, like 2 or 3 inches of rain, which was just like a lot of rain. We thought, man, it's going to be a really wet month, and then we haven't had any since. So we've gone now like 7 weeks or so without a drop of rain down here, and the ground is just see it getting bad. The trees are still beautifully green down here in southern Oklahoma, but they're beginning to show some signs of that severe drought. The fields, the yard here looks pretty good at being irrigated, but even being irrigated, it's not as good as it normally is. I mean, that's just how bad it is. Today, as I came out here today, and I got home from church, and by the time I got Chris taken care of and put to bed and fed, it got a little later in the afternoon before I got out here. But when I walked out here, I looked at 109 degrees. 109. Now, we've had a few days hit 108. I think yesterday was 107. We've had a few days hit 108. 109, and they're probably, the heat index is up another 10 or 15 degrees above that. So it's really been something. But while you're praying, pray for rain for Oklahoma. Pray for rain for Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, because some of the parts of the state have had plenty of rain. They are been getting a little rain the last few days up in some of the places in northern Oklahoma, and they need it too, so it really helps them, helps all the farmers. We've had a great week here. The week went by just lightning fast. It seems like every week does that anymore. The lightning fast. You know, I was at the NASCAR race last week, the Quaker State 400. A great shell brand that I work with some, as well as Shell Rotella, and occasionally with Pennzoil. But Shell Rotella is the main brand that we work with. But and we'll be working with them again next week at an event out in Las Vegas. But the Quaker State 400 race, it was a great race. A lot of fun down there. I saw a lot of people. We worked 4 Walmart stores during Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A lot of y'all that are here on YouTube and Facebook. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube, go in there and subscribe to that channel right now. We're about to hit 120,000 people on there, growing like many, very, very small right now. The growth is just really hard to come by. We're just not the type of channel. I think maybe we're just a little too wholesome maybe for them, but we're just not the type of channel that YouTube pushes real well. But you know, we've gone in about 2.5 years from nothing up to 120,000. So we feel really blessed about that. But the week went by fast. The week went by really fast. Monday was a travel day. I used Monday just to get back to Oklahoma and pick up Chris, get her back to the ranch, and I've got her here at the ranch with me all week, and it's just such a tremendous blessing to have Chris here. I've got Miranda here, has helps me a lot, so that allows me to go fishing. I actually fished 3 days. That's right, 3 days this week. I'll talk about that here in just a minute. The only 3 days I fished this month. This is the 17th, and I fished those 3 days. I didn't fish all day, any day. Fished one evening, one morning, then another evening. So I guess you'd call it 3 partial days fishing. But I loved it. We caught a lot of fish. We had a really good time, and I'll talk to you about how we caught those before I end this little chat today, because it's going to be kind of a short chat. It's not going to last too long, but be sure to stay to the end. I want to talk to you about something that's really, really important. The day's fishing was special because I got to fish with some exceptional men, some men from the Federation of Exceptional Warriors. The Federation of Exceptional Warriors is an organization that just simply honors and does good things, nice things, fun things for some of our exceptional warriors that have fought so hard for this country. Most of these people are career people that have been in the military, a long time. Some of them, most of them 20 years, those that are out. And most of those guys volunteered. A lot of them went in after 9/11. And when 9/11 happened, a lot of them dropped out of college, quit jobs, and joined the various branches of the military. And the Federation for Exceptional Warriors, these men have pretty much every one of them won a Purple Heart. A lot of them have won the Medal of Valor and Medal of Honor and all kinds of, depending on what branch they're in, all kinds of great awards. But I had the distinct pleasure and honor to get to take some of those guys fishing this week. And it's such an honor for me when we get to do that. We get literally hundreds and hundreds of requests to take people fishing. I would love to take everybody fishing that wants to go fishing. I love to go. I'm not getting to fish nearly as much as I did before Chris's stroke, but that it's just an honor for me to get to go fishing, period. And when you get to take an exceptional warrior, it is just absolutely an amazing situation, just absolutely fantastic. And this week, I got to fish one evening with Rodney, Hickey, and Brent, Montgomery, and these guys were absolutely sensational. It was just wonderful to listen to them tell their stories about some of the things that they went through over in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the battles that they fought, and the injuries that they had. And it's just amazing, just an honor to get to go take them fishing. We caught a lot of fish. I fished the next morning with Joseph Brammer and Rodney Schwager. Ronnie kind of runs that organization, and it was the one that set that up along with my friend Chris Sterling. Chris got me involved with these guys, and Chris is the principal owner in NH State Water and the NH State Patch Technology that does a lot for your body, and that water, NH State Water, it's only available locally around here in Oklahoma, around the Oklahoma City area, over our store at Cookson, but at Keys, but it's patented water that just does amazing things for your body, in addition to keeping you better hydrating than any other water will be. And it'll probably be the best water you ever drink if you get an opportunity to try it. But Chris Sterling is the principal owner of that company. I got a great friend of mine, Steve Perkins. Steve is a local fisherman from here in Oklahoma that fishes a lot of tournaments around in the area, and just a great tournament fisherman, and just loves to fish. Just like me, just loves to fish. I asked him if he could come over, since we had 4 of these great exceptional warriors that wanted to fish, wanted to be able to fish 2 to a boat. So he took 2 one evening, and we swapped the next day, and I took 2. So all 4 of the guys could get to fish an evening and a morning. We had a great hamburger and corn on the cob and brownie chocolates and just incredible poppers, jalapeno poppers wrapped in bacon. Just incredible meal that night when we came in from fishing. That Sterling bought all the hamburger meat and all the cheese and made some gourmet hamburgers, without a doubt, gourmet hamburgers. And so we had a great meal. The corn on the cob was just absolutely delicious. And the good thing was we didn't eat it all. So Chris and I got to indulge in the rest of that a couple of days after they left. But what a great evening. What a great evening. What a great morning fishing with those guys. We caught a lot more fish in the morning than we did in the evening. The fish are not biting nearly as well in the evening as they are in the morning. These days, these 105, 6, 7, 8, 109 degree days are just days that you just shouldn't be out there. I mean, it's just dangerous heat. You shouldn't be out there. Find something to do inside. I told Apache, don't you be working through the middle of the days. Don't you be working through the middle of the days in this oppressive heat. Go in the house, take a nap or something. Do the work early, do the work late. And Apache doesn't hardly know anything but get up early and work all day till it gets dark. And I told him, I said, you quit working in the middle of the day. Don't do that. But we had a great time with those guys, and then also I got to take out another great individual, and this guy was not a warrior or anything. He's an 18-year-old boy. His name is Tiger. His dad's name's Ed Taylor. Tiger Taylor. Tiger is not his really official name. His dad told me that when he was born, when they kind of patted his butt, and when you make a baby cry, that he made a growling sound that sounded like a tiger. So he said, man, that boy sounds like a tiger, another boy. And so that stuck, and they've called him Tiger all his life. He's a big boy, bigger than his dad, bigger than me. and he's got some problems with, I don't know the name of the disease, but where his back is curving more all the time than it really should. He stands up pretty straight, but his back's got a curve in it, his vertebrae, and they're going to have to go in there and operate on that. It's because of a disease. I can't pronounce the disease. I have a hard time pronouncing anything, but anyway, they're going to go in there and do that operation. But there is a possibility, a fairly high percentage, that he might be paralyzed from that operation. And he's got to have the operation because it'll eventually damage him where he can't walk or do anything. And plus, it's extremely painful. It's extremely painful. And but he had a great time out there fishing. We all did. We all caught a lot of fish. I think that evening we caught 28 bass, and I think that's 2 boats, fishing. I think we caught with the soldiers 153. I think we caught like 23 and 30, and then the next day we caught 51 and 52 for the 2 boats. So I think it totaled out 153 fish. I think is what we totaled out, if all that adds up right. But we had a great time, and we had a great time also I had a great time fishing with Ed Taylor. Ed Taylor loves to fish, and he's fished all his life and never, ever really fished in a boat. And neither had Tiger ever fished in a boat. And I had the honor of being able to take him out in a $100,000 Ranger boat, $100,000 plus Ranger boat, and show them a Garmin live scope and let them see the fish on there, let them see the lures, let them see a fish actually strike a lure. And we were catching a little small fish for a little while, but as it got closer to dark, the fish got gold and got bigger and bigger and bigger. And the biggest we caught was about 4.5 pounds. I think the biggest we caught with the Exceptional Warriors was about 6 something. But we caught a lot of fish, and we had a lot of time, and it just was an honor for me to get to do those 3 days fishing. Actually, a couple evenings and one morning fishing, but it's just an honor. And we caught, and just to tell you, just to give you an idea, I'll talk a little bit about the fishing before I end this thing. We caught the majority of those fish on spinner baits and plastic worms. Jimmy Houston Legend spinner baits and Redman spinner baits, and then Lucky Strike worms. The new Lucky Strike worms they've come out with are just fantastic soft plastics. And you start using them, they're going to become your favorite soft plastics to use. I'm pretty sure of that. But we caught them really in a couple of different ways. And one of the things I wanted to point out with fishing right now is it's so hot. The water temperature is 90 degrees plus, and it's going to just continue to get hotter because the nights are only getting down to about 78 or 80. But it's 90 degrees plus. But the fish are not necessarily real deep. People think when the water gets that hot, the fish are real deep. Largemouth bass are warm water fish. They don't really mind 90 degree water. I mean, everybody says they prefer water around 70 or 75, but I don't know if they know that for a fact. That's just because we prefer, temperatures around 70 or 75. But the hot water doesn't really bother them that much at all. But what is critical this time of the year, and it's something you can watch for on your fish locator, is thermocline. Now, thermocline is where you have a 3 degree change in water temperature. So as you go down in the water, you hit a point where there's a 3 degree change, an abrupt change. If you're out there swimming, sometimes you can feel this, it might be down around your toes, or if you dive down a little bit deeper, you might run into that thermocline. And the breeze picked up right now. I didn't hook the microphone up because it was dead calm when it started. We might be getting quite a bit of interference in there right now, but we'll just kind of try to live with it the best we can. I might just turn this thing around a little bit and might block it off. I don't know if that might block the wind off some. I don't really know. But anyway, that thermocline you can see easily on your locator. You can see it. It's just kind of looks like a solid line down there, and it just looks like a lot of interference down below that line. And you'll notice if you look down below that line, you don't see hardly any fish. That's because the fish are pretty much all where that thermocline above. Now, the thermocline might be 8 or 9 feet. It might be 12 foot. Here, where we were fishing, it was about 15 foot. So you pretty much know you concentrate in 15 foot of water or less. We were catching a lot of fish a spinnerbait, not up on top of the water, but slow rolling it around 4 or 5 foot deep. We're catching a lot of the bigger fish on a worm down around that 12 to 15 foot level. They were like right above that thermocline, so if you hit around 12, 13, 14, 15, they're right above that thermocline. So watch for that thermocline on your fish locators. If you're out there fishing, watch for that thermocline. When you see that thermocline, you will not catch many fish below that thermocline. So that gives you the depth to concentrate on. Right now, southern Oklahoma, 15 foot or less, you're going to be pretty good. That's where you want to find your fish. So, and that was a critical thing in catching the fish. They weren't easy to figure out, but I saw the Thermocline immediately, explained to the Warriors and explained to Ed and his son Tiger what that Thermocline was, and you could see that you didn't see fish down below it, so it's very easy to figure that out. We are able to see fish so well on our locators now that we can some of the things that we have known and learned over the years, we're able to really see it visually out there now because we can look out there and see those fish so well. One of the things I want to say when I end this thing is we've got so much bad stuff going on around the world, around our country right now. The war's still going on in Ukraine. There are thousands and thousands of people that have been killed over there. More people being killed as I'm speaking right now. People are being killed in Ukraine, and that war rages on. But and there's a lot of bad things in the United States. We got gas is still up. The gas prices have gone down, they said, for 30 days in a row. I've heard it. Well, they've gone down to, here in southern Oklahoma, $4.59. So there's still, it's about $2 in Dallas when the president took his office a year and a half ago. That's about right. About a year and a half ago, it was $2 in Dallas, probably about $2.09 or $2.19 here. So big difference between $2 and $2.19 and $4.59. So it needs to go down really a whole lot more. I mean, a whole lot more. We're beginning to have food shortages. Fertilizer for the farmers is costing way more than it's ever cost. The diesel fuel is just out of sight. Everything, the prices, inflation is I guess, at historic levels. And you look around and you think, and you see the southern border with millions of people coming in, and a lot of those people are people that really are just coming here for a better life, coming to America, this great, great, great country of ours. A lot of those people are coming here for nefarious reasons. Many of them are terrorists. Many of them are just like the people that flew into the Twin Towers up there in New York and killed so many people. And they're here to cause harm to the United States of America. So many drugs coming in, killing so many young people that it's just amazing. And enough drugs are coming in basically to kill everybody in America. So we start looking at that stuff and we start thinking, woe is me, this country's terrible, we're going down the tubes. And I see polls or surveys or whatever they call them on TV where it says 70 and 80 and 90% of the people think the country's going in the wrong direction. And I think if somebody was to ask me that, I'd probably have to be one to say, yes, I think we're going in the wrong direction. But I'm telling you, God is still in control. God's still on the throne. And one of the ways to, no matter what you're going through, and I'm telling you what, this 15 months with Chris and this has been an overwhelming task that I've tried to fight through for these 15 months. Overwhelming. I get so little sleep, and I so many times I just get to where I just can't hardly go another step. But I think about when that happens, I think about the fact that I'm so blessed. I start thinking about my blessings. I start thinking about the number one blessing is, again, and I've said it over and over and over until y'all are tired of me here saying it probably, is that doctor told me Chris would probably not go out of that hospital alive. And that was 15 months ago. And so I think about that blessing. If that's the only blessing I had in the world, it'd be worth it. But I've got blessing after blessing after blessing. That old song, count your blessings one by one. If you're feeling down today, if something's bothering you, if you're sick, the doctor's giving you 6 months to live. If you just found out you had cancer, if you just found out that a family member or somebody that you love deeply has got something wrong with them and you don't know what the future holds, if you lost your job, and I'm going to tell you, you can get a job anywhere right now, but we're probably getting ready to go through a period of time where people are going to start being laid off, and it'll be hard to get a job, and I hope that doesn't happen, and it may not. And the people in power say it's not going to happen. They say this is transitory and everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. This economy is set to handle inflation and high gas prices, and we're designed to do all that. But I don't know. It's nothing. I have a degree in economics from college, and it's totally opposite to what we learned in college. But I went to college so long ago, maybe none of that applies to today's society. I don't really know. But all that set aside, you just start thinking about what you have, not what you have not. You think about the fact that you can, as hard as it is, pay that $4.59 for gasoline. As hard as it is, you can buy gasoline. As much as it costs you to go down and buy a basket of groceries, if you can still do that, you are truly blessed. And no matter what situation you're in, no matter what bad news has come about, you just start thinking about the things that you're blessed. You know, one thing, if you're listening to this Sunday afternoon chat, God got you out of bed this morning. Or maybe you couldn't get out of bed. Maybe you can't get out of bed, but he woke you up. He woke you up, and he's letting you enjoy life at least one more day, at least one more day. So start thinking about all the good things you have in your life. Start thinking about all the blessings. And that old song, Count Your Blessings, Name Them One by One. If you did, that's a great song. But one way to do that, if you want to really, really realize how blessed you are, do what I do. Just sit down and take a piece of paper and start writing down blessings. And they will pop to you faster than you can write them down on paper. As you get those down there and you start looking down there, pretty soon you're going to say, hey, why am I doing this, man? I am blessed. I am truly blessed. And that's the way God intended it. Not only that, but God has made a way through Jesus Christ that we can be blessed forever. And a place where we'll have no sickness, we'll have no crying, we'll have no people that can't walk or people that can't talk well or a girl that can't use her right arm. We'll have none of that. We'll have no food shortages. We'll have no inflations. I don't think we'll need $5 gas. We'll be able to just float around everywhere we want to go. I don't know exactly what heaven's going to be like. I've read it being described in the Bible over and over and over. But I know it's going to be wonderful. And I know it's going to be eternal. So when you count our blessings, at the top of that list, we need to write down heaven. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you. I apologize for the audio, but you know I love you.